Here he is, Marty. Nick Riewoldt.
Oh,
with us
have
in
a look
studio.
at him. Stunning.
Smells like a new car here.
Yeah, well, it's got that feel,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
it's great.
Brand new studios
Yeah,
for
I
people
like it.
just
I've
tuning
already
in.
found a few little sort of cues
Yeah, I
that
know.
we might have to iron out.
I
But
know,
that's okay.
I know.
Is it this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit rattly. There's a couple of bolts we
It's
need
that,
to tighten.
Woz. That's it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Mate,
well done. It's good to
You
see
look
you.
fitter
Everyone-
than I reckon I've ever seen you look.
I've had a big couple of weeks.
Have
mate.
you?
Oh,
Are
really?
you loading for something?
Nah.
Is there anything I need to know
Are you
about?
shredding for stereo?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh, what are we? Off season.
Yeah.
Hey, what are we? 10 weeks
Are
away.
you thinking grooving the moo? What are you working towards?
12-week shred.
A 12-week shred.
I'm talking absolute rubbish.
North are having a fun time at the moment. The David Noble departure has opened the door for a new coach. Are you hearing anything? Is there a front runner?
Hearing lots of things, but that's what happens this time of year. I love the fact that you hear now that the media got another one.
Oh no, they
the
didn't.
media got another coach, this and that. And
5 and 38.
that's probably
got
what did
got
it.
another one.
That's probably what did it. And I don't think anyone really could have done all that much better because we know North are on a long rebuild. But now all the names start. It's a throw at the dartboard really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Alistair Clarkson gets mentioned. I find the players that used to be coached by those names now get called up for all the comments. And Luke Hodges' comments the other day were fascinating. That he said, "Well, whatever happens, I've been coached by Clarko. It can't become the Alistair Clarkson show."
Right.
So I think, and then he realised what he'd said, and then went down the path of sort of trying to
Digging
dig
himself
himself out of what he'd said. But
What about your old mate Ross Lyon?
yeah, Rossi's a great coach. Like I laugh when I hear people say that he's too defensive, and no, we don't want Ross Lyon. Like if North Melbourne could get Ross Lyon, it'd be great.
Is there a
for them.
point when you're too far? What's the too far out of the game point?
Yeah,
Not
well,
3 years.
he's only been out a couple of years, I
Yeah.
think, two or three.
I think
Will?
he's three.
Three. Yeah, no, I don't think so. Particularly if you stay involved to sort of some extent, like he has through the media. So you're continually watching the game
Yes.
and analysing the game and breaking it down. So you probably wouldn't want to go much longer than that. But Lee Matthews had a decent old break from between Collingwood and came back to Brisbane, and that
was
turned
a
out
big
all right.
break.
It turned out all right for
Bucks
Lions.
is just enjoying life without
think-
the pressures of coaching and loving these media jobs.
Yeah, and he's got teenage boys that he's spending a lot of time with, so I think he's probably unlikely. North Melbourne have said they're going to go for a guy that's coached before. Well, the pool's getting pretty small. I don't think Clarkson would go there. Rossi's pretty happy. Bucks is pretty happy.
Could you see Adam Simpson moving?
Well, he's sort of ruled it out.
Yeah.
Adam Simpson, Ken Hinkley's been recommitted to by Port Adelaide.
Could you see Paul Roos coming back from Hawaii
Nope.
to actually deal with it
No.
on the ground?
No, so I don't know. It's Mick Moldhouse. We might have to go, that far back if they want an experienced coach. But it's interesting now. Like that, so clearly they've looked at the GWS situation. GWS are looking for a coach. They've gone early on Noble. If they were the only ones in the market for a coach, they would have let it play out through to the end of the year, I think.
Yeah.
But from a competitive process point of view, they had to jump, and they have, and now it becomes just a race in two. Really, I always find this reaction from the players fascinating. People say, you get an emotional response the week after
Do you?
you change coach. I hope not. I hope
They were
not
good
for
against
David,
Collingwood.
For David Noble's sake, if the North Melbourne group come out and really respond this week, well, then what on earth have they been doing as a group? So I hope not. They were better last week, but I think we've probably, we've gone over the top in celebrating. Having
three quarters of
three
footy.
quarters of having a crack. Like that should have.
Fair call.
You were up and about.
Mate,
You had balloons
I was
up.
ready
and
to put a jumper on. I was dusting off the old Puma Kings.
weren't they? With Nike, but weren't they a good footy?
I've still got them in the
Puma-
shed. I've
Puma
still
King
got
back-
the Puma Kings. I
with
refuse
the
to.
flap.
The flap is the secret to my
Flap,
kicking
that was
claws.
it. And then the guys used to cut the flap off,
Why
and I
would
was
you
like,
do
"Well, you
that?
can't cut the flap off.
That's your Puma King.
That's how everyone knows they're a Puma King."
Yeah. Great boot.
They were good.
They
I
were
found-
sort
I
of
found
they were a fine line between a boot and a sneaker.
Yeah. We trained at Cooperoo once for the Queensland, like might have been like under 16s or something, and the Lions, because it was summer, must have been training at Cooperoo because of the Gabba, and we got in there and it was just a pair of random Puma Kings on the bench.
You grabbed him.
grabbed them.
Yeah.
I had number 12 on them.
Yeah.
I reckon they were hackers. Because I was only 15, 16. I just fit beaut. It was like Cinderella. Cinderella.
Nick Riewoldt with us this morning in our new house.
In our new house.
Yeah, I like it. Like what you've done with the place.
That's all right, isn't
Where's
it?
my room?
Right there. Anywhere you like, mate.
Yeah.
Near Loz would be nice. Week 18 of 23 is what it says on the top of the list in front of me.
Hasn't that flown?
Hasn't it what?
What a moment this week where I thought, geez, we're through there's always that mid-season lull.
Well, it's 3 rounds of the bye. That doesn't help.
We're through. We're out.
We're out.
Downhill.
And we only have 1 bye round to go. And this weekend looks amazing. Some great games there, starting with your boys tonight v the Bulldogs.
Tonight, yeah, big. Looking forward to getting along and doing the game for Triple M and the Rub. It's
Good fun.
Well,
The Huddle on a Friday.
the Huddle.
The Rub's on a Saturday.
the
that
Sunday.
right.
Wow, I'm glad I got. How would that have gone tonight if I went with that off the top?
Wait for the target
Because
on Sunday.
they can bully with the best of them.
Exactly.
The Friday night crew. So I'm looking forward to that. It's actually been interesting because there's a couple little sort of chats that are happening where some ammo's being loaded to direct towards one of the other guys.
Right.
But I'm just worried about the chat that I'm not on.
Okay, so you don't know what's coming for
I
you
don't-
tonight.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
There will be, for
Anyway,
sure.
the game will be great because the Dogs and Saints, so Bulldogs have lost 3 of the last 5, St Kilda have lost 4 of their last 5, but they're both still hanging on just on the bubble of the 8. I think probably for the Dogs, if they drop this one, it becomes really difficult. They play the top 3 teams in the comp, Melbourne, Geelong and Fremantle, the next 3 weeks.
Jeez.
So they would want to win this one. Aaron Norton out. So both of these sides, Bulldogs with 3 COVID outs.
Yep.
St Kilda with 2 COVID outs. 2 or 3 can sometimes turn into 4, 5, 6. We saw that with Brisbane last week. So wouldn't be surprised if we get some more changes, which when you're struggling for form, which both of these teams are, you don't want to be struggling then from a personnel point of view and the what ifs, and players will be nervous about whether they're going to get it or not. So batten down the hatches for those 2 clubs. Should be a great contest. If you don't win this one, you're probably not playing the footy that will carry you through anyway.
We've talked through the week, Nick, about the possibility of rescheduling finals if they're COVID affected and it becomes a disaster.
Geez, I hope not.
What do you think?
I've got flights booked, Marty.
Yeah, right. So you're off. I'll let AFL House know that this is an absolute no from us.
Gil's been pretty steadfast.
Hard no.
Hard no.
Hard no. And
Flights
Gil,
are booked.
hey, don't worry. If anyone wants it to finish on time,
Yeah.
it is Gil because he's out.
He's
Yeah.
mentally, he
done.
left about 5 weeks ago.
Exactly. I spoke to Gil about a month ago, did a Q&A with him. He's checked out.
Yeah,
He's got a bit to get done, but
Sure.
he's
just
checked
ticking
out.
boxes now.
Carlton Geelong, this is
Massive.
going to be an absolute beauty.
Belter.
It's a key forward off.
Yeah.
These Carlton with the 2 young boys, Geelong with the 2 experienced key forwards. Can't wait for this one tomorrow night. Will be an absolute beauty. I think this is the sort of game with Carlton where it turns really quickly. So last year we had Harry Mackay on AFL 360 Plus last night.
Yeah.
And it's almost like his experience now of footy and the way he thinks about footy now has changed.
Right.
Because he's played 6 or 7 years where they weren't really relevant contending.
it was hard.
And now they are. And it's like, oh, this is what footy's all about. And this becomes a sort of game where if they can beat Geelong, well, then all of a sudden you start to think, yeah, we can actually win it.
Yeah.
Not only are we in the hunt, we can go and win this thing. So huge for both of those clubs last night. Still, tomorrow night, I still expect Geelong to get the job done, but it'll be a cracker.
Freo Sydney.
Freo Sydney's a good one too. Dockers are just getting it done.
Aren't they?
Sydney a little bit hot and cold. Buddy Franklin's been a massive talking point this week. I think it's a...
Are the numbers they're talking about, do they sound relevant? 750 is what he wants. He's been offered 500.
You know, the thing about that is, I know, so don't get me wrong, like 250, if that's the difference, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But for someone like Buddy Franklin, is it life-changing money?
No.
No. But would the decision to leave Sydney be a life-changing decision? It would. So I think there's no way he's not at Sydney next year because we're not talking about a 6-7 year deal to go somewhere else. So not life-changing money, would be a life-changing decision. I think would hurt his legacy a little bit.
brand.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah,
be a
his
shame.
brand a little
It'd
bit.
be a shame.
He's been great for the Swans. They've been great for him. Clubs and players don't owe each other anything.
Not anymore.
Because I've been on the other end of it, and when you're out and the balance shifts, you're out.
You're out.
So that's okay. So I expect he'll be a Sydney player next year. Just want to touch on Scott Pendlebury too. Game 350.
Unbelievable.
You guys had him in early in the week.
No,
did
he had
this
Monday
week.
off.
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He was doing a little trip,
staycation.
Staycation.
Ah, okay.
I wasn't
him
sure if we were
with his
saying
partner.
Well, you'll have him in next
We've got
week
him
to be able,
through.
to, be able
Yeah.
to celebrate. But just want to recognise 350 games in an era where the game has shifted more and more to power.
Yes.
So, Dustin Martin, Paddy Danger, all these big Petrarca, big power athletes. He is a rare breed in that his nuance, he's composed, his time, things slow down around him. He's almost been the anti-development of players within the AFL, and so he's a unique guy. And
He's
350
changed my attitude to Collingwood in a lot of ways because I
Why's
didn't
that?
know much about them. And then he started coming on the show and I thought, what a lovely man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
just a really genuine bloke.
Yeah.
diamond in the rough, maybe, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, I'm still not a massive fan of Collingwood. I'm not going stupid about it. But certainly.
Geez, they come for you, Collingwood
they?
fans,
Yeah.
when you
Oh,
get it
yeah.
wrong. Last week I said they could win the flag last week.
Yeah.
And then I said one thing about Jack Ginnivan,
And that was it?
Oh, they love
tongue in cheek, and did they launch?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but that's all right.
It was
It's
like
footy.
when
everyone
I
gets
didn't like
passionate.
I didn't like the GoPro stuff. Oh, the phones melted down. I still don't like guys walking around with GoPros saying how easy it is to win footy matches.
Just tell
I
them
don't
to-
care if
tell
you're
them to get
18
off-
or not.
Tell them to get off your front lawn then.
Yeah. Always lovely to see you, mate.
You too, guys.
Have a lovely weekend.
Enjoy it.